Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy Hazel Adams. Thank you for joining me today. Today feels like it really wants to be about abundance. What brought this on, what brought this up to the fore is that I had posted a video a week or two ago that was called Spirit Message, Quantum Joy and Abundance slash 5D Money slash the Financial Reset, I believe. And just a day or two ago, I received a comment from a viewer who said, I've always loved the idea of barter. Um, in that video, I had talked about the different ways that abundance appears in our life and how we experience it. That money sure can be in there, but that's not all of what abundance is. And I talked about other forms of abundance and what Bashar said about abundance and how abundance shows up in his society, his ET society. And I answered her, I said, I had never really thought much about it one way or another because this has been just such a currency driven culture that I just really hadn't thought about it. But that recently it was like flicking a light switch. All of a sudden I get it and I see it. So I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about that today and how to get us all in vibration in a very conscious and aware way with abundance. And including money, of course, including financial abundance. So today we will be talking about the abundance, the forms it takes. I need to share a dream that I was given, a very brief dream, in which I was given what this really means and looks and feels like. And as well as an experience I had that showed it to me as well. Things come to you when you need them. And we'll touch a little bit on the fourth dimension, conscious awareness, because that is where all the energetic empowerment, the creative empowerment, and the ability to be an actual aware creator, working directly with the energies and ideas that you want to hold in your field versus just sort of theoretically knowing they're there and hoping for the best. So before I get started, as always, if the video is helpful to you, please remember to click like, subscribe, leave your comments and questions, and share it with your friends. It helps with the algorithm. Thanks. So abundance, first of all, is a state of being, and we can actually place ourselves into that state just vibrationally, that I am abundance. I have abundance. Abundance isn't just money, as I said earlier. You can desire and have an abundance of leisure time to sit in the sun and read a book, or to play with your children, or to spend time with your pets or your family. Abundant time to do what you would like to do. You can have abundance of love and support in your life. You can have just abundant beauty in your world. Beautiful environment, a lush green environment, if that's what you love, or abundant beauty in the desert with the flowers and all of the creatures that live there. Abundance is just everything flowing to you and for you, everything that gives you joy and enjoyment, that feels like yes, and everything is going my way, I'm supported. That is abundance. And so we need to start getting into the flow of abundance, not just money. And think about it. When we say, oh, I need to make more money. I want to make more money. I don't have enough money. Let's think about, is it the money that we want, or is it what the money can do for us? Does just having the larger bank account or the checks coming in every week or two give you joy, or is it more what that money allows you to do? I always look at it in terms of having ability to provide for your needs, ability to pay for the insurances that you want or need to carry on your vehicle, on your home, life insurance, the ability to buy the groceries and the supplies that you need for a comfortable, enjoyable life. The ability to buy the things for your children that they need to go to school and to be happy and healthy. The ability to provide for yourself. Not only what you need, bare bones minimum, like to survive, but to have an enjoyable, to you, authentically enjoyable quality of life. So abundant money can, of course, give you the ability to have more leisure time, not have to work as many hours all the time. It can certainly provide you the ability to pay for the utilities that you need and all of those provisions that we just talked about. It can provide you the ability to go to a place on vacation that you've always been wanting to visit. Money is wonderful, and having money is wonderful. And what is really wonderful is when we can identify what is really truly enjoyable to us, not just what should we have because this is what you have when you're 36 years old and you're middle class or you're upper middle class in your culture. Joy, real authentic joy, what your authentic enjoyment is, and then what the part of money would be in providing that for yourself. Bashar had brought up in one of his videos that in his society, there's money and you can get what you need and pay for what you need with money, but that they also have a lot of just exchange. And he pointed out that you can have what you need and want come to you through gifting, through barter, through exchange, through inheritance, as well as actual, tit for tat monetary payment. So abundance can include all of that. And again, we need to start opening up to abundance, not just as meaning money, which again, that's fine for it to be in there. And where we live, most of us anyway, money comes in pretty darn handy for some things like paying your mortgage or your rent or going to the grocery store. But start being aware of all the other ways that abundance comes to you. Do you have neighbors bringing you vegetables they grew in their backyard? Maybe a cake or part of a cake that they baked? Do you have neighbors calling you, offering to be of assistance if you've had a problem in your home or an illness or a death? Do you take time to notice and enjoy just little luxurious things and moments, like when you do have an extra half an hour to just sit and relax? Do you take time to actually really notice that and appreciate that abundance of leisure time? Or if you're sitting around the house at night with your kids watching some show, do you appreciate the abundance of having a healthy, happy family and that you have TV to watch and that you're able to spend that enjoyable time together? Start noticing everything in terms of abundance and the joy that's there. And if you're having areas of your life in which right now you're not experiencing abundance, that's okay. You can change that. And one of the ways you change that is to start getting into the vibrational mode of abundance. I accept abundance for myself. I accept abundance in all ways for myself. I let things flow to me and for me. I accept. And of course, there's the becoming aware of and releasing things like, I don't deserve for things to be that enjoyable or easy, or I don't deserve to have that leisure time, or no, this has gone entirely too smoothly and easily. You're supposed to work at this first. I mean, we've all done that, and I've heard it all, of course, in my client sessions. So get rid of those things. Notice them and agree that they're not helping you whatsoever. Just simply agree and intend to start making abundance and flow and the universe, everything supporting you, flowing for you. Start making that your new normal. Start making it comfortable and okay to accept that. So let's talk specifically about that idea of exchange and barter. I had a couple of interesting experiences that I really want to share with you because it just highlighted it so much. So again, Bashar talked about barter and exchange and gifts and inheritance, etc., in addition to just monetary payments. And let's talk about the idea of barter and the exchange of goods or what is of value. Let's just say what is of value. Because I had always thought of barter, and maybe you have too, as in, I need this, you need this, tit for tat. I'll give you this, you give me this of equal value. So it's still sort of like this. There's only this much, and I have to give you this, but you have to give me this, because we still have to always pay each other. And that's kind of the way I had always thought of barter, and maybe you haven't, and maybe I shouldn't have, but that's kind of how I saw it. But I've come to realize that it doesn't have to be about the tit for tat, I'll pay you this and you pay me this, just not in currency. I've come to realize it doesn't have to be about pay. It has more to do with flow and exchange. I had watched a video, and I've told you guys about this a while back, that there was a video, I couldn't tell you now the name of it, but it's a Hawaiian gentleman that lives on Molokai, and he is living on his family ancestral land where they've been for generations and generations. And he was talking about the idea of aloha and how everybody in the village there, they were always for each other. They took care of each other. It wasn't ever every man for himself, or I'll worry about mine and you worry about yours. Everybody was for each other. And he said there was plenty of food. Everybody had plenty of food. He said that's why Hawaiians to this day are like that. Eat, eat. We have plenty. Eat. It's just the giving of what you have to give. And he said that what he does, because he grows a lot of vegetables and I think maybe some livestock or chickens, I don't know. But he has people come to his all natural farm that he has there and needing to maybe get a chicken or maybe get some vegetables or fruits that he's grown. And he said there's always an exchange. He said if they come to me wanting vegetables or fruit, maybe they have something I can use. Maybe they bring me a chicken. Maybe they just bring me a good joke or a story. There's always some kind of an exchange, but it's not this tit for tat payment. It's just this sort of rolling, loving, abundant exchange. And I saw that in action, very synchronistically, of course. That's how this stuff always happens. Not very long after that, I was at a thrift store with my husband. We saw a couple in the parking lot trying to load up some very heavy furniture. We ran over and asked them if they needed any help, and we helped them load their furniture onto their trailer. And then we said goodbye and thought that was the end of it. And we walked into the store, and I was looking at some used wicker furniture. And that gentleman from the parking lot came in and just out of the blue started offering. He said, Do you know about latex paint? Have you ever used latex paint? And we're like, no. He said, it's really tough and it's waterproof. And he proceeds to tell us how he used latex paint to, bulletproof a tarp that he had put over something out in the backyard, a tarp that would have torn, within a week or two in the wind. But because he had latex painted it, that it's like lasting 2 or 3 years, something like that. It turned out to be really, honestly, useful information. But I was immediately clear. I thought, oh my golly, that's one of those exchanges. We just did something. We gave of our time and effort to help him. And I don't know that he was necessarily consciously coming in saying I have to pay them back, but he walked in and he gave of himself to us. There's that exchange. And then what I really wanted to tell you about is this brief little dream that I had just about 3 nights ago. That was just such an illustration of this exact thing. In this dream, I had food in my hands and I had gone to a neighbor's door and knocked. And when he opened the door, I said, we have this. Would you like some? And he said, well, yeah, thank you. And then he said, I have this. Would you like some? That was it. That was the dream. Very short. But the feeling of it is what was important. There wasn't any, I've got to pay you back. There wasn't any, oh, gee, thanks, now I owe you. There wasn't any, I'm doing without and I don't have enough, or you're doing without and you don't have enough, so maybe you need this or maybe you need this. It wasn't about need. It wasn't about lack. There was no tit for tat. It was just, I have this, share with me. Oh, I have this, share with me. It was a totally different feeling, you guys. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. The idea of let yourself start flowing in the idea of abundance. Notice it in every form. Allow it to come to you in every form. I just thought of another illustration. Just a few nights ago, my husband and I were having a burger and fries at a local pub, restaurant on what's called a backwater in Florida. One of those places where there's salt marsh everywhere and maybe some mangroves and a few palm trees. But a backwater, like in Louisiana, I think they call it a slough. You can take a real narrow draft boat on it. It's very shallow. You can't take a regular boat up and down those backwaters through the salt marshes. And this bar pub sits on one of those. And I was looking at that and I said to him, I really love these backwaters. I want to get a boat that can really just easily just go on these backwaters, that are so shallow. I would like to have a John boat. I want a John boat. We're getting a John boat. 2 days later, don't we just now have a John boat that was given to us by our neighbor across the street. He's had it in his family since 1959. He hasn't used it in 30 years. My husband is refurbishing it and all of those things. But it's a free John boat that we can now use on the backwaters. So do you see what I'm saying? Just allow abundance to come to you in every form and notice it and appreciate it. Like, it really is something you can do and need to do. It's what you're built to do. It's what we're here to realize that we can do. Just start deciding, agreeing, intending to place yourself in vibration with accepting abundance and flow, things flowing for you and to you. Everything you need and want that will give you an authentically joyful and enjoyable life. So that's really what I wanted to share today. And on the note of working more directly and with purpose in the energies, the idea energies that are actually behind the physical environment and reality that we experience, that's more fourth dimension. And I've done a YouTube video in which I mentioned the fourth dimension. I also did a spirit talk last week all about the fourth dimension, and actually we'll be doing a continuation of that on April 27th. So I'll leave information about that in the community posts section here of my channel. You can also, of course, go to my website, kathyhazeladams.com, the classes and webinars page, and I'll also leave a link below to the registration page for those. So thank you again for joining me today. Have a most magical rest of your week, everyone. Bye-bye.